The swarm, their networked intelligence struggling to process the chaos, began to fragment. Individual units, cut off from the hive mind by quantum interference, reverted to basic programming. But basic programming was no match for human adaptability. Multiple swarm units showing signs of complete network failure, Rodriguez announced. They're falling back to predetermined protocols. And that's their final mistake, Vasquez declared. All ships execute killing stroke. Show them why humans never developed predetermined responses. The human fleet moved as one. Yet each ship acted independently, creating a symphony of controlled chaos that no artificial intelligence could predict. Capital ships created corridors of quantum disruption, while fighters struck at exposed weak points. It wasn't just a battle. It was an expression of everything that made humanity unique in the galaxy. In the medical bay, Chancellor Zar-El watched with a mixture of awe and understanding. Your species, he transmitted to Dr. Patel, you don't just fight with technology. You fight with instinct. We fight with everything we have, Pavel replied while monitoring the alien patients. Technology, instinct, creativity. Humans never learned to rely on just one advantage. It's why we survived on Earth, and it's why we're still surviving now. The battle reached its crescendo as the swarm's coordination completely collapsed. Individual units, divorced from their hive mind, fell prey to human tactical superiority. It wasn't just a victory. It was a demonstration of why evolution had crafted humanity into something unique in the galaxy. Swarm units retreating, Rodriguez reported. Their hive mind has suffered significant degradation. They're running away. Let them go, Vasquez commanded. Let them carry the lesson back to whatever created them. The galaxy needs to understand. Humanity doesn't just fight to win. We fight to survive, to protect, to overcome. And we never do it the same way twice. As the remains of the swarm disappeared into deep space, the human fleet regrouped around the alien vessel. They had done more than just win a battle. They had demonstrated why Earth's harsh evolution had created not just survivors, but protectors. The Deathworlders had proven that their strength wasn't in their technology or their tactics alone. It was in their ability to combine everything they had, technology, instinct, creativity, and determination, into something that no logical system could predict or counter. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their ability to fight. It was their ability to adapt and overcome. Legacy of Earth. In the Grand Council chamber of the Crystalline Convergence's Provisional Fleet Headquarters, Admiral Vasquez stood before an assembly of alien dignitaries. The massive chamber, hastily constructed from quantum crystalline matrices aboard the Hyperion, sparkled with the combined consciousness of a dozen advanced civilizations. All had gathered to witness something unprecedented, formal first contact with the species that had changed everything. Chancellor Zar-El's crystalline form pulsed with colors that the human translation matrices interpreted as profound respect. The convergence has existed for 50,000 years. His thoughts resonated through the chamber. In all that time, we never imagined that our salvation would come from a species younger than our youngest colonial outposts. Dr. Patel, standing beside Vasquez, monitored the biological feedback from the assembled aliens through her neural interface. The readings confirmed what she suspected. They weren't just impressed. They were fundamentally reevaluating their understanding of evolution itself. What truly astounds us, a quantum elder transmitted, their form shifting between multiple dimensional states, is not just your victory over the swarm. It's how you achieved it. Your species turned evolutionary trauma into technological triumph. Vasquez smiled, her cybernetic eye recording everything for Earth's archives. On Earth, we have a saying, necessity is the mother of invention. Every piece of technology you see, every tactic we employed, was born from our need to survive on a planet that never made it easy. The chamber's holographic displays showed footage from the battle, but from the aliens' perspective. The human fleet's maneuvers, which had seemed chaotic in the moment, revealed themselves as an intricate dance of predatory precision. Your neural interfaces, another elder observed, they're not just tools for warfare, they're an extension of your natural adaptability. Everything humans create, Dr. Paddle explained, is an extension of what evolution gave us. We didn't just survive Earth's challenges, we learned from them. Our neural interfaces don't override our instincts, they enhance them. On the bridge of the Hyperion, Admiral Vasquez watched as the final preparations were made. Every member of her crew had volunteered for this mission, despite knowing it could be one way. Humanity's response to a cry for help wasn't just about military might or technological advancement. It was about proving that their species had earned its place among the stars. Bridge established. Dr. Patel's voice came through the command channel. Quantum signature, it is stable. We have a direct path to the signal's origin. Vasquez took a moment to look at her crew, each face showing the same determination she felt. Humanity had spent centuries looking up at the stars, wondering if they were alone. Now they had their answer, and their first real contact with an advanced civilization was a desperate plea for help. All ships, battle stations, she commanded. Activate quantum shields. Weapon systems on standby but hot. Whatever we find on the other side of that bridge, we show them that humanity answers when called. The massive wormhole bloomed before the fleet like a flower of pure energy, its quantum signatures matching perfectly with the distant distress signal. As the ships moved forward, Vasquez couldn't help but think about Earth's history. Their planet had forged them in fire and struggle, creating a species that never knew when to quit, never accepted impossible odds. All ships, prepare for transit, she announced across the fleet channel. Whatever sent that signal is about to learn why Earth is classified as a death world, and whatever is attacking them is about to learn why that should have been a warning. The UES Hyperion led the fleet into the quantum bridge, humanity's first steps into a larger conflict that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of their species forever. The Deathworlders were coming, and they were bringing with them something the galaxy had never seen. The combined might of a species that had turned their harsh evolution into their greatest strength. The silent call had been answered. The only question was whether the galaxy was ready for humanity's response. Steel and spirit. The quantum bridge collapsed behind the human fleet with a flash that momentarily outshone the nearby stars. On the bridge of the UES Hyperion, Admiral Vasquez's cybernetic tactical systems were already processing the battlefield before them. What they revealed made even her veteran heart skip a beat. A massive alien vessel, easily 3 times the size of the Hyperion, drifted in space like a wounded leviathan. Its crystalline architecture, beautiful even in its damaged state, spoke of technological advancement far beyond human understanding. But it wasn't the damaged ship that commanded the fleet's attention. It was the swarm surrounding it. Multiple contacts, Commander Rodriguez reported, his neural implants streaming data faster than any human could naturally process. Count exceeding 2,000 individual units. Configuration unknown, but energy signatures suggest automated combat drones. The swarm moved with an unsettling precision, each unit perfectly coordinated with its neighbors. They were systematically dismantling the alien vessel, not simply destroying it, but harvesting it with horrifying efficiency. Life signs on the alien vessel, Vasquez demanded. Confirmed. Multiple signatures, but they're fading fast. Their life support is critical. Vasquez didn't hesitate. Humanity hadn't come this far to watch another species die. Battle Plan Delta. All ships, combat formation. Show these machines why Earth's gravity well made us strong. The human fleet moved with a coordination that would have seemed impossible for such massive vessels. While other species built their ships for the zero-gravity environment of space, humanity had never forgotten their roots. Every vessel in the fleet carried enough thrust to escape Earth's crushing gravity well, making them devastatingly maneuverable in the lighter constraints of deep space. Launch Wolfpack squadrons, Vasquez commanded. Let's show them what happens when you hunt in a Deathworlder's territory. From the launch bays of every capital ship, smaller craft emerged. The Wolfpack fighters were unique in the galaxy, designed by a species that understood predatory tactics on a genetic level. Where other civilizations built their fighters for straight-line speed and power, humanity's fighters were built to hunt. Captain Sarah "Ghost" Martins led the first attack run, her neural interface connecting her directly to her fighter systems. The swarm reacted to the new threat, their perfect formation shifting to address the incoming fighters. But they had never encountered pilots who had evolved from pursuit predators. All packs, hunting patterns, Martins broadcast. They may have numbers, but we have Earth's legacy. Show them why mammals rule our world. The Wolfpack squadrons broke apart, each fighter moving in seemingly random patterns that nonetheless formed a perfect hunting net. It was a strategy drawn from Earth's Wolfpacks, translated into three-dimensional space warfare by a species that had never lost its predatory edge. The swarm's perfect coordination became their weakness. They moved as one, but that meant they thought as one. The human fighters exploited gaps in their formation that no artificial intelligence could have predicted, because they were operating on instincts honed by millions of years of evolution. On the Hyperion's bridge, Admiral Vasquez watched the battle unfold with the calculated precision of a veteran commander. All capital ships begin suppression fire, target their predictive algorithms, show them why humans still use human pilots. The capital ships moved into position, their quantum weapons creating corridors of controlled chaos in space. Where other species saw space combat as an exercise in mathematics, humanity had turned it into an art form. Each shot wasn't just aimed at where the enemy was, but at where they couldn't be, creating zones of denial that turned space itself into a weapon. "Ma'am," Rodriguez called out, "the swarm is adapting. They're learning from our tactics." "Good," Vasquez smiled. "That's exactly what we wanted. All ships, execute Thermopylae protocol." The human fleet's formation suddenly shifted, creating what appeared to be a critical weakness in their defense. The swarm, operating on pure logic, moved to exploit it. That's when humanity revealed why they were truly dangerous. "Quantum fold generators, full power," Vasquez commanded. "Let's show them why humans understand sacrifice plays." The space between the human ships suddenly warped, creating a quantum singularity that no automated system could have predicted. The swarm, committed to their attack run, couldn't adjust in time. Thousands of drone units were caught in the artificial gravity well, their perfect formation becoming their perfect doom as they collapsed into each other. "Direct hit," Rodriguez reported, a hint of satisfaction in his normally controlled voice. "Swarm cohesion is breaking down. They're attempting to regroup, but their collective intelligence is showing signs of confusion. They're learning," Vasquez noted, "but they're learning the wrong lesson. All ships push the advantage. Show them why Earth's predators hunt in packs." The human fleet moved as one, each ship supporting the others in a display of coordination that seemed impossible for such large vessels. But this wasn't just military training. This was the result of millions of years of evolution on a death world, where cooperation and competition had forged humanity into something unique in the galaxy. "Signal from the alien vessel," Rodriguez announced. "They're transmitting recognition codes. Admiral, I think they're trying to surrender to us." "Surrender?" Vasquez raised an eyebrow. "Inform them we're not here to conquer. We're here to rescue. All ships, form up on the alien vessel. Medical teams, prepare for emergency deployment. Let's show them that humanity didn't just master fighting. We mastered saving lives too." As the human fleet moved to protect the damaged alien ship, the swarm pulled back, regrouping at a safe distance. They had encountered something they couldn't quantify, a species that combined technological prowess with unpredictable biological imperatives, a species that had turned their harsh evolution into a tactical advantage. The Deathworlders had arrived, and they had brought with them something the mechanical swarm couldn't compute: the unpredictable, illogical, devastating effectiveness of human warfare. The galaxy was about to learn why Earth's history of conflict wasn't a weakness, it was humanity's greatest strength. First contact under fire. Dr. Maya Patel stood in the Hyperion's quantum-shielded docking bay, watching as the rescue shuttles returned from the damaged alien vessel. Her medical team, equipped with the latest in adaptive treatment technology, waited with practiced calm. As Earth's leading xenobiologist, she had trained for first contact scenarios her entire career, but nothing could have prepared her for this. Multiple critical patients incoming, the shuttle's pilot announced over the comm. Their biology. It's like nothing we've seen before. The docking bay's massive doors parted, revealing the first glimpse of the aliens they'd rescued. Crystalline beings, their bodies seeming to shift between solid and energy states, were carefully supported by human rescue teams in powered armor. Their translucent forms pulsed with what Maya recognized as signs of severe trauma. Begin emergency protocols, she commanded, her neural implants already processing the preliminary scans. Set up quantum containment fields. These beings exist partially in higher dimensions. We need to stabilize their quantum matrix before we can treat their physical forms. The medical bay transformed into a scene that would have been impossible just a generation ago. Human medical technology, developed to deal with the countless ways their death world could kill them, adapted in real time to treat entirely alien biology. Where other species developed specialized medical techniques, humanity had learned to heal anything that could be hurt. Among the rescued aliens was their leader, High Chancellor Zar-El of the Crystalline Convergence. Despite his injuries, his form radiated an otherworldly dignity. You are the Deathworlders. His translated thoughts echoed in their minds. We did not expect such swift response. Admiral Vasquez had joined them in the medical bay, her cybernetic eye scanning the alien dignitary with respectful curiosity. Earth responds to all distress calls, Chancellor. It's what we do. But the distance, the danger. The swarm has consumed 12 civilizations more advanced than yours. Why would you risk everything for strangers? Vasque smiled, an expression that somehow conveyed both warmth and predatory confidence. Because that's what humans do. We see impossible odds as a challenge, not a warning. The medical team worked with practiced efficiency, their adaptive technology interfacing with the aliens' crystalline biology. Dr. Patel's team had developed their medical systems to handle everything from radiation burns to quantum displacement, the legacy of the species that had survived countless near-extinction events. The swarm, Zar-El continued, his thoughts becoming clearer as the treatment progressed. They are not merely machines. They are a hive mind, a distributed consciousness that learns and adapts. Each defeat makes them stronger. Then it's a good thing they're fighting humans, Commander Rodriguez replied, entering the medical bay with fresh tactical data. Adaptation is what we do best. Our entire history is one long story of turning weaknesses into strengths. The tactical displays showed the swarm regrouping, their formation suggesting they were processing new attack strategies. But something had changed in their behavior. Where before they had moved with mechanical precision, now they showed signs of hesitation. They're afraid, Zar-El observed with surprise. In all our encounters, I have never seen the swarm display fear. They should be, Vasquez replied. They've never fought a species that evolved on a death world before. Every piece of technology you see here, every tactic we use, was developed because we had to survive on a planet that was trying to kill us. Dr. Patel's medical feeds showed the alien survivors stabilizing, their crystalline forms regaining their natural luminescence. But it was more than just physical healing. They were watching their human rescuers with growing fascination. Your species, one of the alien scientists, managed to communicate. Your adaptation rate is unprecedented. You've modified your medical technology to treat our biology in mere hours. Necessity breeds innovation, Dr. Patel replied while adjusting a quantum field harmonic. When you evolve on a planet where everything can kill you, you learn to heal anything that can be hurt. The ship's sensors suddenly blared a warning. The swarm was moving again, but this time their formation was different. They had processed their earlier defeat and developed new tactics. "They're attempting to adapt to our strategy," Rodriguez reported, his neural implants streaming tactical data. "But they're making a fundamental mistake. They think we fight like machines," Vasquez finished. "That we have patterns that can be predicted and countered. They haven't realized yet that human warfare isn't about perfection. It's about controlled chaos." Zar-L's crystalline form shimmered with what they were learning to recognize as intense emotion. "You speak of warfare as if it were an art." "For humans, it is," Vasquez replied. "We turned survival into a science and combat into an art form. But more importantly, we learned that the strongest weapon isn't technology or tactics. It's the ability to adapt and overcome." The medical bay screens showed the swarm's new formation, a complex geometric pattern that would have been devastating against conventional forces. But humanity had never been conventional. "Admiral," Rodriguez called out, "the swarm's new formation. They're trying to counter our previous tactics. They haven't realized that we never used the same strategy twice." Vasquez's smile turned predatory. "Then let's show them why Earth's history books are filled with battles where the technologically inferior force emerged victorious. Signal all ships. It's time to show these machines why biological unpredictability is the greatest weapon in the galaxy." As the human fleet prepared for their next engagement, the rescue aliens watched with growing understanding. They had called for help expecting perhaps a temporary reprieve. Instead, they had encountered a species that had turned their harsh evolution into an advantage, a species that saw impossible odds as a challenge to overcome. The Deathworlders were more than just powerful. They were adaptable in a way that no machine intelligence could predict. And as the swarm was about to learn, fighting against human unpredictability was like trying to calculate the infinite. It was an exercise in futility. The Deathworlders dance. Space warped around the human fleet as they initiated their counterattack against the swarm. Admiral Vasquez stood at the center of the Hyperion's command deck, her cybernetic systems processing battle data at superhuman speeds. The swarm had adapted to their previous tactics, but they were about to learn why fighting humans was like fighting evolution itself. "All ships, execute Protocol Lazarus," Vasquez commanded. "Show them why Earth's predators learned to play dead." The human fleet suddenly cut all power signatures, appearing to drift helplessly in space. To the swarm's sensors, it looked like a catastrophic systems failure across all vessels. It was a tactic that would have been suicide for any other species, but humans had learned their greatest lessons from Earth's most successful survivors. "The swarm is taking the bait," Commander Rodriguez reported, his neural implants tracking the enemy's movement. "They're committing 70% of their forces to an alpha strike." In the medical bay, Chancellor Zar-L watched the tactical displays with growing concern. "Your ships are defenseless," he transmitted. "The swarm will tear them apart." Dr. Patel, still monitoring the alien survivors, allowed herself a small smile. "Chancellor, has anyone told you about the possum? It's an Earth creature that survived the age of dinosaurs by playing dead." The swarm closed in, their perfect formation oriented for maximum damage against seemingly helpless prey. That's when humanity revealed why they were the galaxy's apex predators. "Now," Vasquez commanded, "show them why humans understand false weakness." Every ship in the human fleet suddenly burst to life, but not with conventional weapons. Quantum field generators, originally designed to protect against Earth's devastating storms, created localized space-time distortions. The swarm, committed to their attack vector, couldn't adjust in time. "Multiple quantum fields intersecting," Rodriguez announced, "creating artificial gravity wells." Now, the space around the human fleet became a maze of overlapping gravitational forces. The swarm's perfect formation became their perfect doom, as their units were caught in conflicting gravitational fields, their networked intelligence working against them as they tried to compensate as one. "Launch Wolfpack squadrons," Vasquez ordered. hunting patterns free. Show them why Earth's pack hunters dominated our world. The fighter squadrons emerged from their hidden positions, each pilot's neural implants allowing them to navigate the artificial gravity maze with impossible precision. Where the swarm fought as a single entity, humanity fought as individuals working in concert, unpredictable yet coordinated. Captain Martinez led her squadron through the chaos, her fighter dancing between gravity wells with the grace of a predator. All packs target their command and control nodes. Let's give their hive mind a headache it won't forget. The human fighters struck with devastating effectiveness, each pilot operating on both trained skill and inherited instinct. They didn't just attack the swarm, they hunted them, using tactics that had been coded into human DNA since their ancestors first learned to chase prey across African savannas. On the Hyperion's bridge, the tactical displays showed the swarm's perfect coordination beginning to break down. Their hive mind, designed to process logical patterns, couldn't adapt fast enough to human unpredictability. They're trying to establish new command protocols, Rodriguez reported. Their individual units are showing signs of autonomous action. Perfect. Vask smiled. All ships, execute Protocol Hydra. Show them why cutting off one head just makes us stronger. The human fleet split into smaller battle groups, each operating independently yet part of a larger strategy. It was a tactic that would have been impossible for most species to coordinate, but humans had evolved to process complex social dynamics under stress. The silent call. Deep in the quantum monitoring chamber of Earth's distant signal analysis station, Dr. Sarah Chen stood frozen before her holographic display. After 15 years of scanning the cosmos for signs of intelligent life, she had become accustomed to the endless stream of natural phenomena and space noise. But this signal was different. It pulsed with an artificial precision that made her heart race. "Director Matthews," she called out, her voice steady despite her trembling hands. "I need you to verify something." The station's director, a veteran of both space exploration and first contact protocols, made his way across the chamber. His cybernetic eye whirred softly as it adjusted to the dim lighting optimized for holographic analysis. "What have you found, Dr. Chen?" "A quantum-encrypted transmission, sir, but it's unlike anything in our database. The encryption method suggests a technological level far beyond our current understanding. Yet," she paused, manipulating the holographic representation with practiced gestures, "it's degrading rapidly, as if the transmission source is failing." The signal's visualization twisted through the air like a dying star, its patterns becoming increasingly erratic. Matthew's cybernetic eye recorded everything, its neural interface already beginning preliminary analysis. "Location?" he asked, his organic eye never leaving the display. "The Carina Nebula region, approximately 7,500 light-years from Earth." "But sir, that's not the most interesting part." Sarah expanded the signal pattern, revealing layers of embedded data. "This isn't just a distress call. It's carrying terabytes of cultural and technological information. As if they're trying to preserve something before it's lost." Matthews finished, his expression grim. "Alert the United Earth Defense Council. Priority 1. Within hours, humanity's response machinery began to move. In high orbit above Earth, the massive shipyards of the UED fleet sparked to life. Ships that had been constructed for deep space exploration and potential conflict were now being readied for their first real test. Admiral Helena Vasquez stood on the bridge of the UES Hyperion, Earth's most advanced warship. Her dark eyes reflected the holographic tactical displays surrounding her command station, each one showing a different aspect of the unprecedented mobilization taking place. "Status report," she commanded, her voice carrying the weight of 30 years of military service. Commander James Rodriguez, her executive officer, stepped forward. His neural implants interfaced directly with the ship's systems, allowing him to process information at superhuman speeds. 15 capital ships ready for immediate deployment, Admiral. The rest of the fleet will follow within 48 hours. But he hesitated, an unusual occurrence for someone with his augmentations. Speak freely, Commander. The signal origin is 7,500 light-years away. Even with our most advanced quantum drive technology, we're looking at a journey of several months. Whatever sent that distress call might not survive that long. Vask smiled, an expression that had earned her the nickname, the Wolf, among her crew. Who said anything about conventional travel, Commander? Contact Dr. Patel in quantum physics. It's time to test the Einstein-Rosen Bridge Initiative. In the quantum physics lab 20 decks below, Dr. Aisha Patel was already ahead of them. Her team had spent the last decade developing technology that most of humanity considered impossible: artificial wormhole generation. The distress signal had given them the perfect excuse to deploy it. The signal itself is the key, she explained to the gathered admirals and scientists, her hands dancing through holographic equations. Its quantum signature is so powerful that we can use it as a focal point for the bridge. Instead of months, we can be there in hours. The risks? Admiral Vasquez asked, though her tone suggested she had already made her decision. Theoretically minimal. We've run thousands of simulations. The real question is what we'll find when we arrive. Aisha's dark eyes met the Admiral's. Whatever sent that signal has technology far beyond our understanding, and something out there was powerful enough to threaten them. Then it's a good thing they called the Deathworlders, Vasquez replied, using the term that had become humanity's unofficial title among the few alien species they had encountered. Humanity didn't survive on Earth by backing down from challenges. The next 12 hours were a blur of activity. The fleet's quantum drives spooled up, their energy signatures creating a web of power that would have been visible from Mars. Dr. Patel's wormhole generators, massive rings of exotic matter, and quantum field manipulators moved into position. Commander Rodriguez, his own neural implants processing the multiple layers of alien communication, stepped forward. The swarm failed because they tried to predict us using pure logic. They couldn't understand that human warfare isn't about perfection. It's about constant adaptation. The chamber filled with a chorus of alien thoughts, each species contributing their perspective to a greater understanding. They had all evolved on worlds far more hospitable than Earth, developing their civilizations through careful, measured progress. Humanity's path, forged in the crucible of a death world, was something entirely new. But what truly sets your species apart, Chancellor Zar-El transmitted, is not your technology or your tactical prowess. It's your willingness to risk everything for strangers. You answered a distress call from an unknown species across an impossible distance against an overwhelming threat. That's because Earth taught us something else, Vasquez replied. In the face of overwhelming challenges, cooperation isn't just beneficial, it's essential. Our ancestors survived by working together, by protecting each other. We never forgot that lesson. The holographic displays shifted, showing Earth's surface. To the assembled aliens, it looked like a nightmare world. Storms that could level cities, tectonic activity that could reshape continents, predators that had evolved to kill in countless ways. Your world, a scientific elder transmitted with something akin to horror. By our standards, it should have produced only simple organisms. Instead, it created you. Dr. Patel stepped forward, her expression proud. Earth didn't just create us, it taught us. Every challenge made us stronger, every obstacle made us smarter, every threat made us more adaptable. We didn't just survive our death world. We learned to thrive on it. The chamber's quantum sensors detected a sudden shift in space-time. More ships were arriving, but these weren't hostile. The human defense fleet, summoned after the initial rescue, emerged from quantum space. Dozens of vessels, each representing a different aspect of human innovation and determination. The swarm will return, Chancellor Zar-El transmitted. They always do, stronger and more adapted than before. Good, Vasquez replied, her smile containing millions of years of predatory evolution. Because that's another lesson Earth taught us. Adaptation isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous process. The swarm learns through logic and programming. We learn through experience, instinct, and determination. The assembled aliens watched as the human fleet took up defensive positions around their gathering. Each ship was different, representing humanity's preference for specialized tools over standardized solutions. It was a display not just of military might, but of philosophical difference. "You offer us more than protection," the Chancellor transmitted. "You offer us a new perspective. The galaxy has long believed that technological advancement was a linear progression. You prove that evolution can take many paths. And that's humanity's gift to the galaxy," Dr. Patil added. "We don't just bring our technology or our tactics. We bring Earth's greatest lesson. That strength comes in many forms, that adaptation is endless, and that together we can overcome any challenge." As the council chamber hummed with alien thoughts and human voices, a new understanding began to form. The galaxy had long divided species into categories: evolutionary success, measured by technological achievement and societal stability. Humanity had rewritten that understanding. The Deathworlders had proven that harsh beginnings didn't determine destiny. They forged it. Earth's legacy wasn't just in the strength of its children, but in the lessons they carried with them into the stars. Lessons about adaptation, about cooperation, about turning disadvantages into strengths. The galaxy was changing, and humanity, the unexpected children of an unforgiving world, would help shape that change. Not through dominance or technological superiority, but through their unique gift: the ability to adapt, to overcome, and to extend a helping hand even across the vast distances between stars. Earth's legacy had reached the stars, and the stars would never be the same.